Hello everyone, welcome to the Concern Podcast where we unpack political, social, economic and cultural stories shaping our world. I am Emmanuel Taban. Now the senior presidential envoy on special program who also doubles as the daughter of the president, Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit, sent a delegation to Renk County a couple of days ago, and that was in line with the celebration of the Christmas. And she sent the delegation, and the delegation was later received by the commissioner of that particular county of Renk County of Upper Nile State. And in this video, I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why Adut Salva Kiir sent her delegation to Renk County and what this could mean to that particular county, but also to Upper Nile and South Sudan at large, especially in line with her playing her role as a senior presidential envoy on a special program. And before we proceed, if this is your first time watching a video on this channel, please subscribe, hit on the notification button, like, comment, and if the videos interest you, of course, share with your colleagues and your circle. It's a way of making this channel grow, and when it grows, it motivates us to make more videos back to back. And for those who've been supporting us, continue doing so. We're much grateful for your support. And back to our video, as I said, that Adut sent her delegation that comprised of mainly two individuals, and the major reason why she sent her delegation to Renk County, we're going to find out in this video. And one of the major reasons why Adut Salva Kiir sent her delegation to Renk County is in light of the celebration of Christmas or the festive season. She sent the delegation with some of Christmas relief items, and you can see some of the pictures here of the delegation being received and the items being distributed to the groups. So these were some of the pictures that were taken during that day, and also you can see a video here of the items being delivered at the airstrip. So most of the items that were delivered that day majorly included sanitary pads and towels and shoes and clothing that were given mainly to these orphans and vulnerable groups. And that was one of the reasons why the delegation was sent to Renk County, was mainly to distribute these relief items to the orphans and the vulnerable groups. But also, the other reason why Adut sent her delegation to Renk County was to assess the humanitarian crisis or humanitarian need in the ground. And because of that, the delegation had some fruitful meeting and discussion with the Commissioner of Renk County. And you can see in this video here where they had a discussion with the county government of Renk County right here. And yes, and as part of that visit, the delegation later also visited some of the returnees. Of course, we know that one of the reasons why the delegation was sent was also to assess some of the conditions of the returnees, people who returned from mainly Sudan back home. We all know that when the conflict erupted in South Sudan, there were some South Sudanese living in the northern parts, like in Upper Nile, who actually escaped to Sudan for refuge. But then they had to return back, and also one of the reasons why the delegation was sent there is to assess the condition of these returnees. And at the end of the day, the delegation ended a very delightful moment with some of the vulnerable groups and orphans, where they had some delightful moment, and we can see them here. They actually visited some of the refugees as well, because they are refugees who came from Sudan, living in the northern part. So the delegation had time with these refugees and returnees And these were some of the reasons why the delegation was sent to Renk County of Upper. One of the reasons was to distribute these relief items, which included shoes, clothing, and some sanitary towels and pads to these orphans and vulnerable groups. But also the other reason is to assess the humanitarian crisis on ground, especially one that faces the returnees, South Sudanese who once escaped conflict in South Sudan for Sudan, but later came back. And this delegation went and assessed the situation of these returnees, and also to look at the situation of the refugees, the Sudanese refugees who actually escaped the war in Sudan and are now living in the northern parts. But also one of the other important things that we should know is that this is not actually the only delegation that Adut had sent across the country. There's also another delegation on ground that was in Warab State that's doing the same role, assessing the humanitarian need of the different communities affected by war. And as I said, that it is Adut's role as senior presidential envoy on special program. One of her roles is to actually do rehabilitation and try to reintegrate these refugees or displaced persons and bring them back to the country. And I think she was assessing the condition as part of her role. But also Adut owns a foundation, a charity foundation that actually does humanitarian support to affected communities, and I think that was as well in line with the role and goals of our foundation. So these were some of the reasons why the delegation was sent to Renk County of Upper Nile State. And thank you for watching. I'm Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concern Podcast. But before we leave this podcast on our business section. On our business section for today, are you a South Sudanese parent living in Uganda who desires to preserve your child's national identity, cultural values, and academic continuity without sending them back to South Sudan? Then worry no more. Excel International School proudly offers South Sudanese families in Uganda the opportunity to access the South Sudan national curriculum in a secure, nurturing, and academically enriching environment right in Uganda. As you pursue stability and opportunity in Uganda, your children can continue their education seamlessly following the South Sudan syllabus, guided by qualified, experienced teachers who understand both the academic standards and cultural foundations of South Sudan. At Excel, they deliver genuine South Sudan curriculum, strong moral and academic foundation, experienced and culturally grounded educators, safe and supporting learning environment, and convenient campuses both in Kampala and Arua. For the Kampala campus, they are located at Zambia opposite the American Embassy, or you can contact the principal at 077-168-2831 or 074-2288-712. And the Arua campus is located at Adalafu in Arua City, or you can contact the management at 077-3498-768. Admission for the 2026 and registration for the 2026 academic year is ongoing. Parents are encouraged to register early as places are limited. Give your children an education that connects them to home, heritage, and hope without borders. Excel International School. Fear God to excel.